Hello and welcome to the CCR Open for 2021. This is our round 2 coverage, and we are here with Wes and the commentators. Mike, how you doing, Wes?
Doing great. Looking forward to some coverage on River's Edge. Has not been filmed a lot, so I'm really looking forward to watching these guys attack this course.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to all the tournament sponsors to help continue to make this tournament grow. It's a great event. We didn't see this course in 2019 due to flooding.
Correct.
So we had a little bit of flooding, almost kind of affect a couple holes, but it's been pumped out enough to where we're going to be able to play it. And first on our card, we have Tristan Tanner out of here in Colorado, rated 999, aka 1000. So
yeah, we got silver Latt from Estonia, rated 1003, shooting a 1040 first round.
So excited to see him. I was hoping he was going to make my card all during round 1. Andrew Martin here from Ohio. We'll forgive him for that, but he's also rated 999.
Rounding out the card, we've got Willie Prince, the Michigan guy here with a 1024 rated first round, and we're looking for some fireworks from Willie.
Yeah, Willie's a local guy, local favorite, especially in the GR area, so we're super excited to have him on our card.
Yeah, hole 1 is a par 3. This is actually playing as the most difficult hole on the course. Very tight gap shooting out off the tee there. Nerves definitely come into play on the first hole. This basket sits on a pretty steep hillside. Really, you just want to get out of the gap on this one, and if you have a look for the birdie, even better.
Big fan of all, disc golf providers. I watched the GK Pro coverage, and Nathan Queen doing commentary did a great job on that channel. He talked about if this gap was on hole 16, it would mean absolutely nothing. You'd be warmed up and feeling good, and no one would even look at this gap. But because it's on hole 1, and because you're still a little fresh, it's scary as all get up.
Yeah, you have OB left if you kick early, just to punish you a little bit more even.
Not only did you miss the gap, but now you're OB. No, just it can be damaging real quick if you do that. But
yeah, we saw Tristan go a little deep there, and Silver catches really the last bush that you have to miss, but is safely out of the gap there.
Free run from that far down the hill, though.
Definitely.
It is windier today, I will say, from day 1, and less rainy, so we'll see. Oh, no, we jinxed him. We shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, no. That's the mistake you don't want to make.
It's not a re-tee, so he will have that up, position, he'll be past the gap essentially over by that OB spot. So
yeah, depending on where he went out of bounds,
right,
you can get in some tricky spots. You see Willie with just a nice hyzer flip, past everything, little skip on the hill, and he's maybe 18 feet.
He's lucky that he lives in GR where all those wooded courses are, because he gets good practice for holes like this.
So we do see him past the gap, so he does just have a pure hyzer into the basket.
Oh, sit down. Sit. Okay, good.
He's gonna have a long putt there for his bogey.
Yep, and with a wind today, anything can happen. Silver has such a unique putt. It looks like he's just watching him warm up. It was just like, are you even trying to throw it? And then this just comes out with so much speed. I love watching him play. I was very happy to have him on the card.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of coverage of him floating around the internet either, so this is really cool to see him.
Great putt there. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's a huge putt. He's looking right down the hill, and if he doesn't catch chains on that one, center chains, he could find himself with a really long comeback. That's a great putt from Andrew.
Really looking to have the perfect start here on a hole. Hole played as plus 0.28, so that gap definitely played a bit of a trick on most people. Caused some strokes to be lost. I think the more common misplay is that people threw something stable and then threw it too soft. And then they would land in those bushes on the left early, and then they'd have to pitch up. And this is not a very flat hill. It's very steep, so you can roll away very quickly, and I think it led to people taking bigger numbers than they expected.
Yeah. Hole 2 is definitely the signature hole on the River's Edge course here. We have the old toboggan run, very scenic, 671-foot par 4. These guys are going to be looking to throw a smash off the tee. You do have OB Road on the right there. A lot of the drives, we're probably going to see a hyzer a little bit left of where the drone is flying now, and then they'll have a hyzer approach from there. This basket sits on a little bit of a mound with a drop-off on all sides, so you really want to make sure and pin your approach shot as close as possible to make that putt easier.
I won't lie, I filmed this drone footage, and then I went home and I watched it 20 times. Love this hole. Don't go right with that OB. You really want to throw something that will flip up a little bit, but landing a little left is great, like you had said. So And this is perfect.
That's absolutely perfect from Willie. A beautiful flip up forward flight. Well done.
The 2 here's got to be so rare, right? Like, it's one thing to throw 671 down the hill, but to throw that with OB and this much wind coming up the hill, it's, that's got to sit down.
Turns it over right, and those pine trees will catch just about everything.
And land on the bridge.
Lands on the bridge. I've never seen that.
Ever. I would never put any money that anyone would do that ever. Couldn't believe that it happened. We'll have an interesting ruling there from you, actually. We'll see you on camera in a minute.
Yeah, I will be there.
We have Silver. He's also turned his over a little bit, cut rolled into the center, and luckily not in the trench, because for me, in the trench is a little awkward with footing, so he's going to be right above that.
Yeah.
He'll have a...
You do get relief. That was his fusion
Oh,
defender.
you do? Oh, I didn't know that. So, come on, get in the trench. It's cooler. No, I'm
You
kidding.
get a meter either side of the toboggans there. We want people to have safe footing.
This is a smash as well, and that's
Wow.
a great spot.
Over the cameraman's head.
The spotter looked very upset. I'm just going to point that out there. He just like raised his flag. He's like, whatever. Here's the angle for the disc. There you see it standing on the bridge. Card doing absolutely everything properly here. They looked at the position, discussed what they think was supposed to happen, and luckily it's right next to TD Central. So they said, hey, he's right. Wes is right here. Let's bring him over and ask him to confirm what the thing is. And you guys said that's not a playable surface. Put it underneath it, and we're going to play on.
Yeah, again, we want players to have safe footing and safe places to throw from. So this is another one we did actually have in the PDJ Live notes, so the players could have checked those as well to get their answer. But as you mentioned, we're right there, happy to just run over and make that call quick.
Yeah, I know that they were on their way looking it up, but both of them, so like, Wes is right there. Just like ask him, because it's easier to get it out of the horse's mouth, right?
Absolutely. And Silver has a great,
Fantastic forehand. He's a great forehand player.
World class.
I mean, I've watched Jeremy Colling play in live. I watch Marweed all the time. He's been on coverage all the time. He is right up there, class, and maybe even more powerful than some of those guys. He's very good. I wish I knew his bag a little better, because I'd kind of understand a little more context of what he's throwing and how he's doing it, but he is very good. Andrew, from a prime position here, maybe giving this a half bid? Sit down.
It looks like he kind of wanted to. He hyzes off a little bit early, and you got to be careful not to go down that hill, because it can leave you with a long putt pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And Tristan with a tricky putt here. You can see the drop off right behind the basket.
Committed high. Sit down. Don't you dare. Stop it.
Rude.
That's it. Get him a new putter. No, I'm just kidding. Don't. We'll let him finish this round with the putter.
And you can see this happen. This is a difficult green. For being a shorter par 4, the difficulty really comes on the green on this one.
I like how we say shorter par 4, because it is so downhill. It is shorter, but it's still 671. I get what you're saying exactly, because I agree, but it's super funny just to say that, and then you have a bunch of AM3 players right now going, short?
Yeah.
What? That's
These guys
671.
got cannons. There's a phenomenal putt from Tristan.
Yeah, great comeback from the rollaway to refocus and bang it, and then Willie tapping in his birdie.
Yeah, he had a great drive, set himself up really well.
Willie
Silver looking to do the same.
Willie will take hyzer shots all day if he can get them. Yeah, I just every time I watch him, it's just crazy to see that disc come out of his hand with that much power.
He gets a lot of wrist action.
Mm-hmm.
We see his partner, Kristen Tatar, there.
Mm-hmm.
Has a very similar putt, gets a lot of wrist action, a lot of spin on her putts.
She had a great tournament
Absolutely.
out here. She was playing really well.
She was lighting it up.
Always good to have her on the channel, even if she's not playing, just in the background.
Yeah, we see a couple birdies there. We move into hole 3, which is a par 3, 321 feet, but this one requires a very specific angle off the tee. We might see a couple kind of forced over forehands, something that will have a stable finish. Really, you want to get the backside of these trees right where this drone is flying. On a forehand, having your disc diving at the basket there. The backhand turnover line is there, but is not nearly as open as the forehand.
As my friends will call it, it's the best shot here is the Am Firebird. Is where this big turnover. Oh my, Willie.
Oh no.
Oh, stop. Where are you going?
And it looked like he tried to throw the forehand, and it really just hung onto his hand there. Maybe just not committed to it.
Yeah, that was... Willie's not a dominant forehand player, but he's worked on it a lot recently, and he's gotten really good at it. That's just uncharacteristic even for him. That's the line you're looking for, is that turnover Didn't quite get through everything, but he's going to have a long look at a 2 there, probably 35 to 40 feet in that range.
He got himself into the open there, so as you mentioned, he'll have a good open bid if he wants it.
But you really want like the Am Firebird angle. This is a little too much, I think. This is going to hit early and stay short, but something turned over and let it come back hard. I say the Am Firebird shot because a lot of Ams throw Firebirds, even though they probably shouldn't. And I'm an Am too. Like, I shouldn't be throwing them, but that angle is what you're looking for. And Tristan
catches the big tree straight off there. Didn't get that turned over.
Yeah, it looked like it was a good angle out of his hand, but I don't know if the disc was too stable or he just didn't throw hard. He's another very elite forehand player as well.
Yeah, Willie, there is kind of a back door over here that doesn't come into play unless you land where Willie landed.
Yeah, that's the line I want to play, didn't you know? Tristan, I thought, was going to put this right next to the basket, caught the last tree, cut rolled right away. And now he's leaving himself with a 50-footer for a par.
Yeah, that was a tough roll.
Willie's just trying to get out of the hole. He's going to be running this, but realistically, he's probably thinking just keep it close to the basket and just get out of here.
Yeah, he had a tight gap. He was just trying to get as much power as he could through there to salvage something.
Take his 4 and move on. Andrew, tough lie with the branches or the trees around him, so he just kind of had to give a half bid really high. And
have we still not seen Silver's putt?
We have not. Silver is still a little closer than Tristan at this point, and Tristan upset, not giving as good of a run as he could have in that position. There's Silver. Got his hat backwards now.
He means business.
I don't know what. We'll see him do it a couple times. Great putt. We do. I want to know what his mental game is when he does it, because you can tell when certain people are trying to lock in and they'll do something, but he does it from time to time, and I don't know if it's a comfort thing. I don't know if it's him doing something physical to get his mind at a certain point. But if anyone does an interview with him at a podcast, please ask him why he does that, because I want to know.
See Silver looking at the only birdie on the card here.
Definitely a bonus birdie, it felt like, but it still played under par at negative .13. Definitely one that was scoreable for this field, but if you didn't get the gap right, you were going to get in trouble.
Yeah, it's the 8th hardest hole, so right in the middle there. We move on to hole 4, which is a par 3, 276 feet. Players are going to want to go straight off the tee. I imagine we will see putters or mid-ranges from these guys. We want to get something that turns late in its flight, or potentially some forehands maybe at these knolls, and then this basket sits right between these 2 mounds.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get to the front of those mounds, you have a nice straight putt at it, and if you can get into those mounds, then you are well inside the circle.
Yeah. Oh, there's the hat again.
There's the hat.
This is my favorite hole in the course because I'm biased. This is the hole that Tung Do and I won AM3 doubles with back in 2019.
Fantastic.
We won on a playoff on this hole.
I remember that.
That was so much fun.
Silver going with the forehand. It looks like maybe he got an early kick to the left there, but he should be up pin high, and he will actually have a pretty good putt from there.
Yep. He's going to have the mound in his way, so he'll probably not be able to see the basket physically, but he'll see the chains. So he's just got to keep it up and over that.
Andrew going M3.
This is what I would do. I'd throw a backhand turnover. That's what I would try to do.
That's a great shot. The mound does kind of dip a little bit by the basket when you get up there, so if you're even with the basket, you do have a
little more open look.
Yeah. Let's see, Willie going with his buzz.
I think that's his Chally OS.
Oh.
Yep, that is his Chally OS. That's one of his putting putters.
Nice.
Which have no beads on them anymore because they're gone because he's used them so much.
Tristan going forehand.
Oh, get lucky, get sneaky. Yeah, it sure does. It's going to be in the mound. You won't see it finish landing because I didn't want to. Wait, he's wearing purple. He was wearing red earlier.
Yeah, maybe he had an overshirt on there.
Oh, great bid.
Yeah, he did have a pretty open look there. Could probably just see the top of the basket. See Tristan right at the beginning of these mounds. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a great catch.
Thank you. You better give that basket a kiss. Thank you. Say thank you to that one. That one was nice.
We see Andrew in a similar spot to Silver.
This is exactly where Tung and I were to win it.
And just like that.
Yeah, we did the exact same thing. He probably saw that old shot from
That's what
my
it was.
Facebook page from 2 years ago and was like, oh, I just want to land there and do that. Clearly.
3 for 3. Willie looking to capitalize.
And he did the same thing Silver did, just left it a touch short.
2 birdies there. My mistake.
Definitely a hole they were trying to get. Played just a little easier. Congratulations to Jacob Arvidsson, who had the ace on this hole.
Nice.
Good for him.
Would love to see that one.
Yeah, that would have been a fun ace to film.
Yeah. Hole 5 is a shorter par 3 at 236 feet, but the challenge is in the gap here. You have a maybe 12 to 15 foot gap coming out, and then you get this basket, which is precariously placed right on the top and middle of this mound. You have OB sand trap left, and if you do not get out of the gap, you definitely find yourself in some trouble.
You love putting baskets on mounds, huh?
Yeah, the greens out here are decently challenging.
Yeah, I like it. Is the OB volleyball court? I didn't hear you say that anything.
It is.
It is, okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember.
You see Andrew right at circle's edge.
I was focused laughing about the mound in my head. Here's Tristan throwing a harp. Speaking of aces.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. First one on the channel. We did it.
First ace on the channel.
I love you, Tristan. You're in Crew 42 lore for forever,
Way
whether
to
you
go,
want to be or not.
Tristan.
We finally got one on channel. Oh my gosh. It took everything, every ounce of power I had in my soul not to just start jumping and cheering and like going nuts because we had been waiting so long for an ace.
And pure the whole way right out of his
Oh,
hand. He was
man.
watching it.
That was so good. Oh, so happy.
Dead center.
Don't lose that. That's his mosquito repellent little machine. I can't think what it's called.
Thermocell.
Yep. Just got 2 more to tee off. Can we get another one? This looks spicy.
Yeah, Silver, again, we mentioned very proficient forehand player. Saw that line. That's a great landing spot, though. That's very common. Right in that back kind of crook of the mound there.
Mm-hmm. There's that. Same Chally OS. When he really thumps on those, if you've go back and watch our like Garfield coverage, he has an orange one that he throws. And if I didn't tell you it was a Chally OS, you would have swore it was a Chally SS. That thing will turn over for days. And, oh, dang, Andrew not quite able to convert that one a little left side.
Oh, just
no.
a little left for Silver as well. This basket can be pretty scary with the mound.
Mm-hmm.
You see these players maybe a little tentative, which is why they're missing left. Willie making sure that he gives that one a full confident throw in.
It's one thing to miss a putt level with you because it's going to land maybe 20 feet even if you're a really firm putter. But to miss this, if you airballed this one, it'd be in those woods deep and guaranteed another second miss.
Yeah, you can really get into 2, 3, or more putts on this one. Congrats to Tristan for the ace. That's awesome. We got hole 6 is a par 4 at 482 feet. You are again shooting out the gap at this hill. It is a pretty big incline of maybe about 40 or 50 feet.
Yeah, at least.
These guys are likely going to be looking to smash one if they can and try and get left. The left side is a little bit more open, but you do have a right side hallway as well if you just throw a big drive straight. Not a whole lot of danger on the green here, but the difficulty really comes in the upshot.
Mm-hmm. We'll probably see Willie's a big smasher. We'll probably see him try to get to the top of the hill. Tristan looks like he's getting on top of the hill. Yeah, just short of it. That's
Just
a smash.
smooth hyzer too.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I wish I could do that. Okay, let me just preface this. I wish I could do everything that these guys do. So from now until the future, if anyone does anything cool, I wish I could do it. And if they mess up, then I already do it. So yeah, he's going for this. This looks like a
Yeah, he's going
nuke.
high turnover.
Oh wow, this is crushed, and he's going to be literally standing right next to Tristan.
Yeah, that's his green nuke. Big smash. I tell you what, both Tristan and Willie are 999 rated, and you could have fooled me because these guys are just
3 of them are
so great.
Andrew, Willie, and Tristan are all 999.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like give them a point. Jeez, oh Pete, it's PDGA, fix it.
Yeah, Silver at 1,003 definitely feels like he's underrated as well.
Yeah, it does. He has got a purple hat now. Okay, what's happening?
Was there a wardrobe change that we missed?
There must have been. Like Am I wrong? Someone go back. He was wearing red on red hat. I swear.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And now he's purple with purple.
Had to switch up the vibe a little bit.
What is happening? I don't know.
Great upshot. Can't miss that one.
How did I not notice this in editing? Like, I'm just watching this and all of a sudden he's in purple. It's like, did I even edit this? I guess
You
not.
see him in purple and getting a birdie.
Yeah,
maybe
the purple's working. I mean, you could, stick with it.
Willie going with that Chally OS again, but he kind of leaves it a little bit low. He's still got a little bit of work to do there.
Yeah, should be within his range, but
Definitely. See Tristan kind of in a
decision spot.
Yeah, he's got to go left or right. He takes the skip forehand, and he's maybe only 15 feet there.
Let me confirm my suspicions here. But hole 6, the one that we are on currently, does play as the easiest hole according to par on the day.
Yeah, this is definitely a shorter par 4.
Yeah.
For these guys, we see Willie capitalize on his putt.
I have some suspicion that OB is going to pop up next year. No.
No, this one's just a good par 4.
Yep. Just go get it.
Good to have some holes on the course where you kind of feel some pressure to make sure you get those birdies.
Yeah. And as easy as these guys are making it, realistically, all these little plinko trees right before the basket can ruin a birdie opportunity very quickly. And speaking of tough birdies, we've got a couple holes coming up here that are not so easy.
Yeah, hole 7 here is a par 3 at 272 feet. We had looked at potentially moving this basket, didn't quite get it done in time for the tournament.
Ooh.
This is a very difficult angle to access this basket. You have to throw a turnover out of the gap, and really the best play is to try and just land about 25 or 30 feet short or right. You do have the OB road on the left there running the entire way of the hole.
May I ask where you wanted to move it to?
A little bit more inland. Make it a little bit more
to the right?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Really,
So closer to where this disc landed.
almost exactly where that disc landed, but maybe just a little bit further. That's probably where you'll see it next year.
Sorry, Tristan. Better luck next year.
He's in position for a putt.
Yeah, absolutely. He's in circle. Oh, whoa.
Oh, that's the second forehand we've seen from Willie, but he gets out of the gap and down the hill, so he'll have a pretty open look at the basket from there.
He'll probably lay up, just from experience being out here before, that OB road right behind it does come into play very quickly.
Yeah, we've pushed it back just a little bit with some road work there, but not nearly as much as I would have liked for this year. Special thanks to our spotters out there today. We haven't mentioned the mosquitoes yet, but there was a lot of mosquitoes on this side of the course, and the spotters were just tremendously valuable out there.
Yeah, great shot from Silver there.
Fantastic shot from Silver.
Yeah, the kudos to the spotters who are, Willie's just laying up, but kudos to them just having to deal with that you don't get to play and you don't get to film. You just get to sit there and watch and get bit by mosquitoes all day.
Yeah, we try and take care of our spotters because we appreciate them so much. They definitely make events like this.
And I know that
so
for a
better.
fact the pros love them. Every single time I see pros going out thanking them, they love having you guys out there. If you've never volunteered to be a spotter before, you should do it. It's very rewarding. You get to watch great disc golf all day. You get to meet a lot of awesome people and people who appreciate what you're doing. So.
Yeah, Tristan playing the hole really how I imagined it would be played. Get yourself to about 20-25 and make a putt. Silver with just a phenomenal drive.
Silver says 25 feet's not good enough. He wants to be closer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going to tap that one in.
Yeah, he really hammered on that one.
I said it so confidently, and then as it was in the chains, I was like, I should stop saying it confidently.
Yeah, this was the hole 7 playing as the 7th hardest hole on the day. We see a couple birdies, couple pars. Those guys played that well.
Yeah, played almost as par as exactly par, so negative 0.09. So it'll be interesting to see if you make that change for next year, how that would affect par. But interesting.
Yeah, this is another interesting hole here. You have a really tight shot off of the tee. That sideways branch that was just above the drone definitely comes into play if you throw nose up at all.
Mm-hmm.
May see a couple different plays here. You can go forced over forehand, or you can go backhand into the dirt where the drone had just passed and kind of skip up to the basket to give yourself a putt from there. But you do have rough left and long. that can get pretty thick pretty quickly.
I think we'll see a couple guys do exactly what I would try to do. I think is a smart play. Tristan, unfortunately, leaving it too high, kicking it, and it hard kicks right into the center of that road. As you see his reaction, just unfortunate the whole way.
That can happen when you leave it too high like that.
Silver left this, I thought, on a great angle. Does not hold it. Doesn't really get a lot of horizontal movement out of it.
Yep.
Stayed pretty straight and landed in that tree there. Willie's going to take the line that I would take, which is this backhand. Leave it on hyzer, and then I stood there knowing full well that that was probably where Willie was going to go, and then was surprised that Willie threw it right at me. But that gives you a 20, 25 footer down the hill putt.
Yeah.
And it's just really safe because you're using that foliage as your backstop. You're not using the hill and potentially risking it going it any farther than that. And it looks like Andrew said, that looked like a good play. I'm going to follow that.
Yeah, this basket does sit on a pretty severe slope.
This was, I couldn't see him at all. Chad Beeler, who came out and helped us out film today, went out and ran with him, and that could not have been better. That was such a good shot from a horrible spot.
Very blind from where he was. He could not see that basket at all. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Silver with a great pitch out.
Yeah, Silver he's a big guy. Like I think he's 6'1", maybe 6'2". He's pretty broad shoulders. He was in a tight spot there, squeezing underneath that bush.
Great putt from Andrew. That's a phenomenal birdie.
Yeah. Just play it safe, get in that right spot, and having quite the back and forth par birdie from that round one. Unfortunate bogey, but since then he's been just yo-yoing out those birdies and pars. And
yeah, this actually played as the second most difficult hole on the course on the day at just 242 feet. But as you can see, we got rough and OB to contend with. Surprising to see this play so difficult, I think.
Yeah, Willie, you saw there kind of make a gesture. When his putter hit the basket, he thought he left it too far right and it wasn't going to catch those chains at all. And the real danger is if you leave it too high, like off the tee or on your putt, so you hit the top of the basket or that side rim and scoot it, that woods or the bushes behind it are very much in play, and you can put yourself in take a 2 extra putt to get out kind of territory. So
yeah,
leaving it short is the safer play on that for sure.
Definitely. We get into the woods on this one. Hole 9 is a par 4, 551 feet. Players are going to look to take this route that the drone is flying through there and probably land somewhere right around here if they can. They will have a forehand approach from there. If they get more to the right, a little bit more of a backhand approach. You kind of have some options whether you want to go straighter or try and turn something over, but really you just want to try and get a full flight on this one and chop off some distance.
I have a story about that drone flight right there.
Oh boy.
So I came the weekend after this event because the weekend before I was doing a lot of editing and working for River City. And I have to give a huge shout out to you and the crew and everyone doing whatever they could to fight the mosquitoes that were here, because they were minimum 20 times worse the weekend after, and I was getting bit so bad that I saw the bush the last second. I said, just power through it. Just please don't break.
Wow, we see Willie with a huge drive. I think that's one of the best drives I've ever seen on this hole, and he is right in the 2-track there. That is perfect.
I saw him first on the pad, and they wanted me to flag him down and give him the okay signal when they were ready to go. And I kind of looked, and there were 3 or 4 spectators on the cart ahead of us, and they were standing literally in that spot.
Wow.
And so Willie was asked me a couple times, am I good to go? And I looked at him and I'm like, I don't think so, because if you pure this, it's going to be really bad for them.
And he did.
So I waited and let them finish, and then he landed right there. I'm like, okay, I did the right thing. I'm fine.
Yeah, we see Andrew go with the putter play, which I think is really great to just set up position for the second shot. Silver with the forehand catches that corner tree, which is really the one to miss. You want to miss it just to the right. Looks like Tristan is going to go turnover.
Yeah, I think this is for me, it's a split between the backhand, forehand, because the forehand, the worst disaster is exactly what. Oh, I'm wrong. He's rolling.
Roller.
I forgot about this. It was ballsy and
dancing with the camera, but yeah, he's in a great spot. He's going to be on the right side and should just have a pretty straight approach from there.
So I like the forehand more because where Willie landed, a little short of that it kind of opens up on the right side. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the forehand into the gap is safer for you to especially try to attack for that 3. And we can see this is exactly where Silver's landing now. That's a very traditional forehand landing spot for a good player there. And The backhand, the danger is if you turn it over too much, you'll cut roll it, or if you don't turn it over enough, you'll go on the left side. And I think the left side for me is worse than the right.
Yeah, I really like. I loved Andrew's first shot, just setting up the position with a putter. I think is so smart, but he catches that tree in the middle of the fairway there on his second shot.
Didn't get it quite right enough to hyzer around it.
Here's Tristan's roller.
This is a great spot for a forehand player if you throw it straight, and he's playing skinny.
And he gets through, and he is parked. Wow.
He is thanking the tree gods right there. Thank you for leaning out of my way.
And Willie's way up here.
This is an insane shot.
Yeah.
Go to this course, go stand on the tee, throw a shot, and then go look at the basket from that perspective and be like, turn around. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, you ain't going to do that.
Through his zone for his upshot there. Kind of rolled away a little bit, unfortunately, but that's certainly in his range. See Silver with just a nice little touch forehand up to the basket.
Yep. Hole plays at almost exactly par at point. I'm sorry. What's the number? 3.97. So almost exactly par, just a touch under. And we can see exactly why, as these guys, great drives to put themselves and great upshots to put themselves for a birdie, or a great drive or a mishap upshot or a mishap drive and a good upshot leaves them in a good spot for par.
Really capitalizing on the great drive. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, just
really drawn up well by Willie.
Let's just rewind it and watch it 5 more times. I'm down. Andrew's got his par here. I like this hole a lot. It rewards the good drive, good up, and you have to have both. You can't get one or the other.
Yeah, you really got to have 2 good shots to get this one. We saw Willie do that.
I think a lot of course designers don't think about that sometimes, where you got to have both. You got to have either a good drive or a good upshot to get your par 4 to get a birdie. And I think this hole is like a great example of what a real par 4 should look like, where you need both. And I like that a lot. There's our hole overviews for the front 9. Tristan holding that 1-stroke lead over Silver, having that ace kind of corrected those 2 bogeys he had, so he's been 4 down for the round. Silver following that as well, and the other 2 close behind, still trying to chase them down. Thanks again to our Patreon sponsors, and I'm super excited to see how this one's going to end.
Yeah, we get into the woods on the back 9. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll see you guys then.